So I didn't grow up with any formal Bible education. I didn't even grow up in a Christian home. I was born in the city of Toledo, Ohio, and there I was raised until about seventh grade. We were moved to New York. My mom was divorced from my father at 5. I had a stepfather up until I was about 13 or 14 when she met another man. She would go on ski trips often. She met someone else whom she decided she would marry, and we moved to upstate New York, right outside of Niagara Falls. And that's where I proceeded to go to high school. Um, I was just straight up lost growing up, went to a Catholic grade school. I could only discern that Catholicism wasn't the answer. I had no sense of God from going there, no sense internally that this was um, truth. Um, Even at a young age, it was interesting. I had that discernment of knowing that this was not it. Um, really interesting that even young people have a sense of discernment about them, where we did not take it seriously. Even my classmates, we would joke around at the required Catholic school church services that we went to, where some would participate and others of us would just sit and have to pay attention, which we didn't. Um, but growing up, no mention of Jesus in my life, really. I remember we were baptized, my stepbrother and I, at about 13. And somewhere about the same time, I remember receiving a Bible as a Christmas gift. And I remember opening this gift thinking it was going to be some music or some toy or something to satisfy my young mind. And ultimately, I saw it was a Holy Bible. I read it on the side. And I kid you not, I felt this dark spirit grip over me, and I felt the repulsion of something that was more than just myself. There was a presence on me, and I felt the same repulsion that that spirit would have felt seeing a holy Bible. And I just remember shoving that Bible away quickly and never again looking at it. It was like this repulsive disgust or disdain for what I myself at a young age, I had no idea what it was, but it ended up being a seed to me later on in life that obviously whatever was in the pages of that book, this was the real deal. Even though in the moment, I didn't really, my young mind couldn't discern what was happening. But now in hindsight, looking back, I believe I was under the power of a demonic spirit at a young age, under the influence of a demonic spirit. Maybe it was a sign to me. I don't know. So I grew up in Ohio. I would actually visit Ohio on the weekends, um, from New York to Ohio once a month. Ultimately, no sense of God growing up. The only minister I remember ever having were literally the stars. I remember laying out under the stars on summer nights and seeing a star and just meditating upon whatever came to my mind. And what came to my mind when I saw stars I was feeling a sense of destiny. I felt like the stars were showing me I was destined, that I was of some value, of some identity, that I was somebody. And the stars were actually, um, it was just an interesting dynamic where I felt like the stars were showing me that something of value about myself. Little did I know that actually in the Bible it actually speaks of the stars as being ministers. I didn't even, never even open the Bible, but that young age, I just recall the ministers of my life were the stars, where it was just laying down under the stars at night. I would just have a sense of my destiny. No one ever spoke to me about Jesus growing up or witnessed to me or anything like that. Until college, there was thing that stands out besides those experiences. And then in college, I took a introductory class for philosophy, and I remember reading about men like Socrates, Plato, and other philosophers. And these men were fascinating to me because they were interested in purpose, destiny, identity. They were wrestling with these issues that really, it was showing me my internal wrestling match with these issues. And these guys were really helping me to come to the realization I too was wrestling with those issues. So that was a huge seed to me to know that there were actually truth seekers out there. I tell you what, I have someone coming in the car right now. I'm in the middle of a ride share experience. I'm in the middle of work, but I will continue with a part two on this of my story. Stay tuned. Part two's coming up.